this idea that we heard today was actually very interesting, and we can actually pull up a soundbite if we have it. Inside of the Oval Office, talking about the post office moving underneath Commerce and underneath Howard Lutnick. Let's take a listen.
Yeah. There are reports that you were considering merging the United States Postal Service with the Commerce Department. Can you elaborate on if this is something you're considering?
Well, we want to have a post office that works well and doesn't lose massive amounts of money. And we're thinking about doing that, and it'll be a form of a merger, but it'll remain the Postal Service, and I think it'll operate a lot better than it has been over the years.
So talk about that. That's an interesting idea. I mean, obviously, the Postal Service has always been one of those embarrassments of government where they lose billions of dollars a year and they're able to limp on because nobody cares. They're allowed to just lose money. Is that going to change?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it will change. I mean, look, the president, I don't want to get ahead of him, but as he said, he didn't deny that that was something he's considering. I was in the Oval when he made those statements, and I think that putting them under Commerce and Howard Lutnick and having people consolidate, having a federal government consolidate, having us cut some fat and also look at why we are wasting, why we are losing billions of dollars. This is all part of the same plan, which is to help American taxpayer dollars. Number one, make sure we're spending them right. Number two, make sure we're not spending too much, and then get some of that money eventually back into our pockets, which is something we haven't had for a very long time. We've been sending money overseas everywhere else, and the Postal Service is a good example of that. He's not trying to hurt our, and this is a common thing, you know, we're not trying to hurt the American people by doing this. We're trying to help. We don't need so many IRS agents. We don't need a Postal Service wasting and losing money. We need to consolidate and have better oversight, and that's something the president is considering doing, as he mentioned, and more of a merger.
Yeah, well said. I want to talk about the ICE director, Caleb Vitello. The president is making the decision to replace the ICE director. Reuters today came out with a piece that alleged that we have less deportations now than we did under Biden. Obviously, a lot of the reason for that is because there's a lot less people coming across, so those immediate turnarounds that they consider to be deportations under Biden, they're just not happening because nobody's coming into the country. But it does seem that there's somewhat of a frustration at the White House over the pace of the deportations that led to the ICE director being removed.
Look, I think that the president, I'll speak generally on this, I think that the president has a very low tolerance for not performing at a high level. I think that he realizes, and we all realize in this administration, we have a very limited amount of time here. And everybody is boots on the ground working very hard. If numbers don't make sense, if numbers don't add up, that's not just government waste, but that's also just individuals that aren't pulling the mandate and the numbers he wants to see, then that's what's going to happen. Look, I expect that for myself, right? If I'm not doing the job I was hired to do, that's a problem, and I expect him to cut the fat. And President Trump is known for it. I mean, you know, between The Art of the Deal and The Apprentice, this should not come as a surprise for anybody. He wants us to move quickly. We all are working incredibly well together, but if there's any sign of weakness or somebody that's not America first and that's not going to do what we need to do in a very short amount of time to fix what the last administration did, I expect that they will be removed.
How solid is this case? You've got a prosecutor now going after Congressman Garcia for comments about Elon Musk, saying he wants to bring like a war, bring weapons. It's a real war to Elon Musk. You also have Chuck Schumer that made the threats against the Supreme Court justices, saying you're gonna reap the whirlwind a couple of years ago. They're going after these guys for the things that they've said now. Is that a solid case, or is this just sending a message?
Oh, I don't think we bring cases that aren't solid. All the U.S. attorneys that are handling this, the prosecutors, the DOJ, we're looking at sending not a message, but enforcing the law. It's not a message. It's called enforcement of actual law. See, the Democrats used to use frivolous things and say that we were insurrectionists, we are white supremacists, and we are all these things because we love America and we want to make it great again. And now you have people that are truly, truly violating acts, violating laws, threatening officials like Supreme Court members, and getting away with it. I don't think that should stand. And I'm happy that for once we're taking action on actionable things, not fluff.
Yeah. I mean, we remember when Kavanaugh had a guy show up at his house trying to kill him after what Chuck Schumer said.
Right.
I mean, that was right. Really scary stuff.
It's reckless. It's
Alina
honestly
Habba,
reckless, Rob. It's reckless.
It is reckless.
You know, everybody's reporting the same stories, the same spin. You turn the channel, it's always the same. But not us. We're different. We report the real news. No spin, just the facts. turn to us and you won't turn back.
Tune in to Rob Schmitt tonight on Newsmax.